Alright, so number 3, we have a system of 3 equations, and this is going to be a multi-step process, and I'm going to need a lot of room, so I'm going to use the full whiteboard. I'm just going to explain what we're doing as we go through it. So here are those equations written down. Let's just make sure we got everything correct, because that would be a problem if we didn't. So x plus 2y negative 5, y minus 3z negative 11, negative 2x minus 6y plus 5z negative 1. Okay, looks good. Alright. So we're going to eliminate one variable first. Looks like it will be easy to eliminate y. So I'm going to use this equation to eliminate y here and here. And the way we do that is we need this to be opposite sign, same number. Right now it's a 1, I need it to be a 2. So if I multiply by 2, and more specifically negative 2, that will change those. So this first one I'm going to leave the same. X plus 2y equals negative 5. This one I'm going to multiply everything by negative 2. So that will give me a negative 2y, a positive 6z, and a positive 22. Alright, combining these will give me x, the y's cancel, plus 6z, and subtract here, and that gives us a positive 17. Okay, so we're calling this my new equation number 1, because I started with 1, left it the same, added this manipulated version to get rid of y. This is my new number 1. Alright, so I'm going to eliminate y in this one as well. So I'm going to start out with negative 2x minus 6y plus 5z equals negative 1. And I need positive 6y to eliminate this. In order to get positive 6y from here, I need to multiply everything by 6. So multiplying by 6 will give me 6y. Multiplying by 6 will give me a negative 18z. And multiplying by 6 will give me a negative 66. Alright, now we're going to combine these two. Negative 2x, the y's cancel, and combine these, and that gives us a negative 13z equals negative 67. Alright, so this is my new equation number 3. And I'll be using one of these again pretty soon. So now it will be easier to eliminate x because it has a coefficient of a 1. And so I'm going to multiply this equation by 2, so it's opposite sign, and I can eliminate x. So multiply by 2. This will give me positive 2x for this one. Multiply by 2, that gives me a positive 12z, and times 2 gives us 34. Okay, now combine these two. X goes away, we get a negative z equals, this is a negative 33. So that means divide by negative 1 or multiply by negative 1, and we get z equals a positive 33. So we have our z value. Now we're going to use back substitution. So now I'm going to take this z value, plug it in to one of the ones that I manipulated. You could either use this one or I don't think that one, this one or this one, but this one might be easier because x is by itself. So we're going to say x plus 6 times 33 equals 17, and 6 times 3 is 18, carry your 1, 6 times 3 is 18, plus 1 is 19, and we have x plus 198 equals 17, and then we subtract 198 from both sides. It looks like x will be a negative 181. Okay, and now we will take these two, x and z, plug it into the third equation so we can get all three. So we have a negative 2 times negative 181 minus 6y plus 5 times 33 equals negative 1. Kind of running out of room there. Alright, so multiplying times 2, that will give me 362. 362 positive minus 6y. 5 times 33, we got 15, and 16, 165 equals negative 1. Alright, we can combine like terms. So adding these two up will give us 7 to 527 minus 6y equals negative 1. Subtract this and move it over. Kind of running out of room here. Myself a little space. Pick that up a little bit. Okay, so subtract 527. That will give me a negative 6y equals a negative 528, and then divide by 6, negative 6. Okay. And that will give us y equals 6 goes in the 52 8 times. That'd be 48. Bring down the 4 and then 8 again. Okay, so getting y is 88 positive. Alright, so let's check. So there's two ways you can check. I want to check with the calculator. You can also just take any of these and plug them into the other two and make sure you get the same number. But let's check with the calculator. So I want to show you what you're going to see. Notice how these variables are lined up. X is to the left, y is in the middle, z is on the right. We're going to put everything in that form. We're going to get an argumented matrix. There should be a 1 here, and then 2 zeros and a number. That number is telling us x value because x was in the first column, and that's what the 1 is. Then we'll see a 1 in the second column. That's where y is. Let me actually spread this out a little bit. We'll see a 1 here and the other's 0, and then we'll get a number. That number will be telling us the y value because y is 1 in the middle, and then the last column we'll see 0, 0, and then a 1 here in the z column and a number, and that number there is telling us the z value. Alright, so here's how we do this in the calculator just to check. And you could do this all the time. I'm going to turn this on. Clear. Let me actually use the calculator on the screen. Might be better to see with. Okay, so I need our original equation, and I'm only going to list the coefficients. So we're going to go to second, and then the matrix button right here, this x squared, and we get this. We're going to go over here to edit. We start on edit, and we're just going to hit enter on A. We're going to use that one. So it first wants to know how many equations you have. We have 3, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to enter 3. And then how many terms at most do you have in the equations? We have x, y, z, and a number. So that's 4. Even though all of them don't have 4, we need 4 because that's what we have at most. So 4. And now it wants us to insert the coefficients. So the number in front of your variable is a 1. So for this one is a 1. The next one would be 2. This one does not have a z. is missing, so we're going to leave it as 0. And then the number on the other side is a negative 5. Did it insert the 0? Yes. And then negative 5. That's the fourth thing. Kind of see here. Alright, now it goes to the next row. So this row doesn't have an X, so we're just going to leave it as 0. So just hit enter. And then Y is 1 here, so 1. And then because of minus 3, we're going to put in negative 3. And then negative 11. Alright, in the last row, we're going to do negative 2. Negative 6. Positive 5. And then negative 1. Alright, so once you get all of that in there, you're going to hit second and then quit to go back to the home screen. We're going to go second matrix again. This time we're going to arrow to the right to math. And then we're going to arrow up to RREF. Stands for Reduced Row Echelon Form, a term that you will learn in linear algebra. If you ever take that. So this just basically says we're going to solve this for you, and it wants to know what matrix do you want me to solve. So we got to go second matrix one last time, and then just hit enter on A. You see how it has that 3x4? This is the one that we edited. And then you hit enter here, and it shows you 1 here, negative 181, and that's the same thing we got for our X value right here. Alright, in the middle we have a positive 88. That's what we got for our Y value down here. And on the bottom we have 33, which is what we got for our Z value. So that's how you read this. It's a good way to check. You can also plug in and check, and you can watch and do this on the video several times. So we have one solution. It's 3 numbers, X, Y, and Z in that order. So negative 181, and then for Y in the middle we need to put 88, and then for Z we need to put 33.